Before you step on your next flight, you need to know this. Gate agents are watching you before boarding even starts. And one small mistake could cost you up to $100. And that's not even the worst part. In some cases, agents are actually incentivized to catch you. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could save you money, stress, and possibly even your seat on the plane. Most people think the airport experience starts when boarding is called. That's the moment everyone lines up, scans their pass, and hopes everything goes smoothly. But in reality, the process starts much earlier, and whether you realize it or not, you're already being evaluated. The second you arrive at the gate area, gate agents are observing. They're not just standing there waiting for boarding time. They're scanning the crowd. They're looking for oversized carry-ons, passengers with too many bags, and anyone who might slow down the boarding process. Their job is to get that plane out on time, and anything that threatens that, even something as small as a bag dispute, becomes a problem they want to handle early. So if your suitcase looks bulky, even if it technically meets the rules, there's a good chance you'll get noticed. And if a gate agent approaches you before boarding even begins, that's usually not a good sign. Once you're on their radar, your bag is far more likely to be checked, and that often comes with a fee. Here's where things get interesting. Frequent flyers know this, and they adjust their behavior accordingly. Instead of sitting right at the gate for 30 or 40 minutes before boarding, they hang back. They stay nearby, maybe at a different gate or a seating area within view, but they don't make themselves an easy target, because timing matters more than most people realize. If you show up right as boarding starts, everything changes. Gate agents are suddenly under pressure. People are lining up, passes are being scanned, announcements are being made. It's controlled chaos. In that moment, their focus shifts from inspecting bags to moving people. And that works in your favor. You're less likely to be singled out, less likely to have your bag scrutinized, and more likely to just walk straight onto the plane without any issues. And as a bonus, if other passengers have already been forced to check their bags earlier, your chances of finding overhead bin space actually improve. Now let's talk about something that seems harmless but can backfire instantly. The sizing bin. You've probably seen it sitting there near the gate. It looks like a helpful tool, right? A quick way to double-check your bag before boarding. But here's what a lot of people don't realize. The moment you put your bag in that bin, you've just made the situation official. If your bag fits perfectly, great. You're fine. But if it doesn't, even slightly, there's no discussion after that. No, it usually fits, or it worked on my last flight. You've already proven it doesn't meet the requirements. And at that point, the outcome is almost guaranteed. Your bag gets tagged, sent to baggage claim, and you get hit with a fee. A smarter approach is to test your bag somewhere else. Try a sizing bin at another gate where agents aren't focused on your flight. Or better yet, check your bag size earlier in the airport before you even reach your gate. Some travelers even test it days before their trip to avoid any surprises. The key idea is simple. Don't draw attention to yourself in a situation where someone has the authority to charge you. Now here's where things get a little more controversial. Some airlines have openly admitted that gate agents can receive incentives for enforcing carry-on rules. For example, Frontier Airlines has acknowledged that agents may earn a commission for each bag they flag and send to be checked at the gate. Think about that for a second. That means your slightly oversized carry-on could translate directly into extra money for the agent handling your flight. Now, from the airline's perspective, this is about enforcing fairness and making sure rules are followed consistently. But from a passenger's perspective, it can feel like the system is working against you, especially when your bag is right on the edge of the limit. And it also explains something a lot of travelers have noticed. Bags that might have been ignored in the past are now being flagged more frequently. Enforcement feels stricter. And those borderline cases, they're no longer getting the benefit of the doubt. So if your bag is even close to the limit, it's worth taking that seriously, because the margin for error is smaller than it used to be. Now let's switch to something that frustrates almost everyone. Delays. If you've flown more than a few times, you've probably experienced this. Your flight gets delayed by 20 minutes, then another 15, then, another update. And suddenly, what was supposed to be a short delay turns into hours. That pattern isn't random. Gate agents often don't give the full delay up front. Instead, they release updates in smaller increments. Part of the reason is that they may not have complete information right away. But, honestly, another reason is strategy. Shorter delays keep passengers calm. They keep people near the gate, and they reduce the likelihood of passengers demanding compensation or trying to rebook immediately. But the downside is that you're left in limbo. You don't know whether you have time to grab food, relax somewhere else, or step away without risking missing your flight. That's why it's so important to verify information yourself. Tools like FlightAware let you see exactly where your incoming aircraft is and when it's expected to arrive. You're no longer relying solely on announcements. You're seeing the situation in real time. And once you have that information, you can make better decisions. You can step away from the gate, use your time more effectively, and avoid the stress of constantly waiting for updates that may not tell the full story. Now here's something that might surprise you, in a good way. Gate agents actually have the ability to improve your experience, often at no cost at all. They can change your seat, move you closer to the front of the plane, or help you if you're dealing with a tight connection. These are small changes, but they can make a big difference, especially on longer flights or when you're in a rush. The key is how you approach it. If you wait until boarding is in full swing, your chances drop significantly. Agents are busy, lines are forming, and they don't have time for special requests. But if you ask earlier, when things are still calm, and you do it politely, your odds go way up. A simple, respectful request can sometimes get you a much better seat or a smoother travel experience overall. But there's also a line you don't want to cross. Because while gate agents can help you, they also have the authority to stop you from boarding entirely. If you become aggressive, argue excessively, or create a scene, they can deny you access to the flight. And once that decision is made, there's very little you can do to reverse it in the moment. So even if something feels unfair, like a bag being flagged or a fee you didn't expect, it's important to stay calm. Handle it strategically, not emotionally. Because in that moment, the goal isn't to win the argument, it's to get on the plane. So next time you travel, keep this in mind. Don't make yourself an easy target by arriving at the gate too early. Be smart about when and where you check your bag size. Understand that enforcement may be stricter than it appears. Verify delays yourself instead of relying entirely on announcements. And always approach gate agents with calm, respectful communication. Once you understand how this system works, everything changes. You're no longer reacting, you're anticipating. You're making decisions that put you in a better position before problems even arise. And that's what separates a stressed-out traveler from a smart one. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe for more travel tips and strategies like this. And I'll see you in the next one.